Boom.
Hey, welcome to the Obligatory podcast. This is Myke FINALLY.
And I'm Kermit.
Hey, good to be back. Man, it's been what? We took a couple of weeks off? I mean, you guys don't know it because we're such professionals that we know we're going to take time off. We record ahead so we can still release. What's our release time nowadays? Where are we looking
Every
at?
Thursday at 11.
Thursday at 11 o'clock. So you can expect the newest releases from us. Just go ahead. You can hear us on Podbean, of course.
Podbean.
iTunes, of course.
iTunes.
And just recently, we're on Spotify now,
We're on
right?
Spotify.
All right. So you no longer have an excuse. We're on basically the most popular platforms, not to brag.
We got one more.
We got to get?
Google Play or Google.
Are we on Google Play or we
Not
need
yet.
to?
That's
we need
what I'm
to put in
working
for
on
that.
next.
Okay, cool. And of course, you can watch if you're more of a visual person, as a lot of you are. Go ahead and watch us on YouTube. And where can they find us on YouTube, Kerm? On your channel, right?
Yeah, but if you type in Obligatory Podcast, it pops up.
It pops up?
Yep.
Yeah, just type in, go YouTube, search Obligatory Podcast with Kermit and Myke, and you can check out all our episodes. I believe, we got 8 up right now?
9. Yeah, 8. Yeah, 9 will be up by the end of this week. Sorry.
9. You mean Thursday at 11 o'clock?
Well, the video, yeah. The
Yeah.
video.
Oh, yeah. The video will be up.
The audio will be out, but the video kind of takes time.
Nice, man. You've been doing. I've been checking out some of the videos. You've been doing some a nice little editing jobs.
Yeah,
on
just
there.
trying to
just interesting stuff.
show people that are interested.
Like I know what's coming now. I'm still interested to watch it now. So that's good. Let's talk about the major news in the world today. I got a chair.
That's
Look
right.
at this.
Look at you.
Look at this.
Fancy.
Yeah, we're starting a little bit late tonight because I came in a box.
Took you
I
a
had
while.
to. You know what? For not having directions for the first half of it, I think I did fairly well. I think I did pretty good. You gotta admit, looks pretty nice. It's better than the music bench, right?
I guess. I mean, it's your back.
It is my back, and I've been doing things to fix my back lately because, I'm pretty sure most of it comes from sleeping on a rock hard futon unless I'm on the road in a hotel. But I also think that maybe at 41, I'm just too old to be wearing Chuck Taylor Converses with, when did it turn into that I'm like, I'm looking for something with decent arch support, So I'm thinking maybe the flat, no support shoes are probably out for now.
What about being 41 and sleeping on a futon?
Yeah, you know what? I'd like to say that's not where I saw myself at 20, but I'd be lying. You know what? But there's a great line out there. And it was actually one of my favorites, Bill Burr. I think a lot of people's favorites had actually said, go ahead, chase your dreams. There is nothing wrong with being 40 years old and sleeping on a futon rather than being married in a house with kids you don't like, working a job you hate, and being 40. And I'm like, I kind of mashed up both of those worlds. What you got to say about a guy trapped in a house with kids in a relationship and chasing the dream on a futon? What you got to say about that?
Oh my God.
And he'd probably say something like, well, I was telling you to go for one or the other, But yeah, so that's it. Anyways, yeah, man, it's been a lifetime since we've been in front of the mic.
A lifetime. Were you itching?
Yeah, dude, I was so. Just so you guys know, last week we didn't record because you had what going on?
Well, what did I have going on?
It was spring break for you, right?
That's what it was.
So you had the camp over at Winter Garden Karate?
Yeah, I was working from 7 till 8:30.
Right.
And I was just tired.
Just exhausted.
I couldn't do it and had to wake up every morning at 6. So I was like, no podcast.
Yeah, especially because even when we recorded it, I don't think a lot of people understand how much time you put into the editing and the doing all this stuff. I call magic because I just assume that's how everything happens. I'm like, it's magic. He just does something.
It's going to be interesting during the summer.
Why is that?
Because my summer camp.
Because you got summer camp?
10 weeks.
We're going to have to be like squirrels just stockpiling episodes to get us through the summer. Like, why are they talking about movies that came out 2 months ago? Like, it's the hottest thing ever.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll probably be better during the summer. Just spring break kind of sucks.
Speaking of which, man, I meant to tell you, I believe it was the Wednesday after we recorded a couple of weeks ago. I actually took the kids over to your class.
That's right.
Yep, because
my ninja school.
Yes, the oldest has been interested in getting into karate, and you were like, bring them by, let them check out a class, and then it's across town at the worst time of day to go across town. But it was like, hey, let's see if they're interested, and then you'd recommend something closer if they were into it. And I gotta tell you, man, I was impressed. I mean, I've never seen you in that aspect as the instructor and everything over there. And let me tell you, when you have people shorter than you in your charge, you're a dick. I mean, in a good way, in a respectful, good way.
You saw the power seeping out.
Oh man, they don't mess with you, man. You go right
Control
into
that room, bro.
Oh, you do too. But I mean, what I was most shocked with is like, I know I brought the 7-year-old in,
right?
And then on the way over, his little brother, 4 years old, Ali, was like, "I want to do karate too." I'm like, and even though your school says ages 4 and up, I was like, Ali just turned 4 in like January. I'm like, he's probably not going to be able to do anything over there. And I asked you right before you start, I'm like, hey, man, hate to throw this on you. Is it okay if the 4-year-old just kind of hangs and you're like, oh, yeah, that's good. And I'm like, really? Because I know my 4-year-old. And, and I got pictures of him lined up when you lined up the class, just all the way down at the end. And the thing I love the most, and I think a lot of kids do this, they'll give their dad some lip every now and then, or maybe be like, oh, I know you. Yeah. As soon as you told him like more than once, do that, he's like, oh, okay. he didn't know how to take it from a stranger telling him to do so. It must be the gi.
It's the gi in the belt. Trust me.
And I'll tell you, the stuff you got him to follow along doing, like just in the first, you guys worked with him for like half an hour because you're like, just so you know, he loses attention. You know, we know, we call them what, little warriors or
mini warriors.
Mini warriors. Yeah. But you had him doing basically everything the 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds were doing. And yeah, he was doing it at a different capacity. But when you guys started doing like the exercises, I was surprised. There was that your assistant instructor over there, Devin. Like just the amount of time you guys spend with kids, and you like connect right away. And the other thing was like I've been through karate. And 7 years Taekwondo, and one of those, what you call the classes where it's you sit there and throw the punches. You had a name for those,
the
like
katas?
Yeah, like mostly focuses on katas and
the forms.
You guys, his first night, you had Aiden on a bag within like 20 minutes. Doing kicks.
That's what they want to do. Nobody wants to throw punches in the air.
It's such a different way of instructing. Like it. You could tell that they were having more fun.
Yeah.
And that's what was really interesting to me over there.
Yeah, man. People get too wrapped up with the whole traditional stuff. Mm-hmm. And kids nowadays are like, nah, I got a tablet. I got
that ADHD kicking in.
I don't deal with this.
Yep.
So if you keep making them kind of just do crazy stuff and just change it up, they'll be fine.
Yeah. And I think at one point, Oliver was probably 20, 25 minutes in. He just did that thing 4-year-olds do. He's like, he's out there with you. He's like, yeah, I want to go sit with my daddy now. And he started walking towards me, and I started to walk to get him out of the way as one of those, I want to get him out of the way and not bother anybody.
I think I kicked you out.
And you're like, no, you sit down. You get back here. He belongs to me right now. I'm like, oh gee, okay, you can keep him. And Ollie was even like, it went waddling back your way.
I said he belongs to me, doesn't
Yeah. He belongs to me now. He belongs to me for the next 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, because I saw you. I was like, what are you doing? Get the hell out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Don't come on the floor.
I was like, okay.
And now he's like all looking for daddy. Like, nah.
So, just you guys obviously have experience dealing with kids of all ages.
Been doing it, for 25 years.
Sheesh,
14, 15 years. I think we're going on 15 years. In Winter Garden.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
So what you do, Monday and Wednesdays, you do classes from 6:30 to 7:30. For beginners, is it any ages or kids? Like
the oldest in that class would be like a 12-year-old.
Okay, so from like 4 to 12.
Yeah.
And then on Fridays, you do actually sparring?
So I have a class every day.
I know you have a class every day, but for like the younger kids.
It's all rank.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't matter if you are 18, 4, 30, you come Friday.
Oh, okay.
And you fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just said that like very Fight Clubbing. Like almost like if it's your first night, you have to fight. You have to fight.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what happens. We throw you right into fire.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. You're like, I've only been to one Wednesday class. Well, this is how you learn.
Suck it up, Buttercup. Here you go.
Nothing makes you want to learn how to do a rising block like getting hit in the head a couple of times. You can practice in theory all you want, but until you get whacked in the head and go, oh, it'd be nice to have something to defend myself against that.
No, I mean, we break it down. We don't just throw them and beat them up. But I mean, I do.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good. Smack a little one around.
Legally.
I'm just teaching them.
So, what'd you have last weekend? Or actually, we've been off for 2 weeks. Did you do anything? Did you have anything St. Patty's Day weekend? Were you working anywhere?
No.
No, okay. You were off.
No. That's spring break.
That was spring break.
No, I stayed home. I stay away from Patty because
Yeah, amateurs.
Yeah, it's just people just haven't drink and they go out and get plastered.
Yeah, I actually I was off the weekend, but then Carmen Valone called me up and asked me if I wanted to do guest spots in Bonkers Sanford with him and just sell some merch.
On Patty's Day?
Yeah, well, Patty's Day was Saturday, and Friday and Saturday, yeah. Yeah, I went, dude. And,
how was it?
Merch was amazing.
Oh, they were actually behaved?
Yeah, and it's funny. I was there booked to headline St. Patrick's Day last year, so it kind of all worked out.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that place, they're really trying. They've renovated a lot. They changed the floors and over there. They're trying to make it a better room.
Oh, are they? Okay.
And
I haven't been.
It's funny because they're getting new tables, new floors. And I'm like, just get a decent sound system.
Yeah,
Let's
that's what
start
they really
with
need, man. Cause...
Same thing. I brought my own mic stand. I'm doing a guest spot. I'm bringing my mic stand and a mic and everything. Just like stuff. You guys are a weekly room. You should have this down.
You would think they would.
But well, what'd you do last week then? Because you were the improv's favorite son last weekend, huh?
Oh, you mean this past weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What you got to work with some decent people.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, brag. I don't care.
Want you brag about this?
Yeah. Well, I want to hear interesting. Like.
Yeah, I got some stories. All right. So
right.
Saturday, I hosted or emceed for Jay Mohr.
DJ Mohr.
DJ Mohr.
The guy, he actually was the original producer, and I think he came up with the concept for Last Comic Standing, right?
He did. He did. Most people just know him from Jerry Maguire, which is sad.
Which is sad
because his resume is ridiculous.
Solid stand-up.
Yep.
And also good impressions, right?
Yeah, he did Tracy Morgan. He did Clint Eastwood.
I'm sure he did his Christopher Walken.
He did. No, he didn't.
Really?
Nope.
He was one of the first guys. Like, I get that a lot of comics are like, oh, everybody does Christopher Walken impersonation right now. This is my impersonation of Christopher Walken. Listening to comics do impersonations of Christopher Walken. Oh, that doesn't sound like me. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Isn't it? Isn't he do that too?
The joke is.
That's it.
It's a horrible impression.
It's a horrible impression. I got it.
So Jay Mohr, was he a nice guy? Good dude?
Great guy.
Really?
He's awesome.
You're not just saying that.
No.
Like we usually say that and then we get off the air and we're like, he's
so
a prick.
Cool. He's so cool. So the first show, because there's two shows. There was a 7:00 show and then a 9:45 show.
Because you only hosted the Saturday, right?
I only did Saturday because Ken Miller gave me Saturday. I guess he had a gig on Saturday. He was supposed to do the whole Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Right.
He did Thursday, Friday, and he was nice enough to give me Saturday. So I MC 7 and 9:45. 7:00 show starts, and Jay Mohr cannot get a hold of. They can't get a hold of him. So like we gotta start the show. So the feature, Cody Woods, I'm like, if anything, I'm gonna have to tell you to stretch. He's like, yeah, I got it. I go, okay, cool, because I don't know where he's at.
Yeah.
So I did 15 up front, and then then I brought Cody on. Still
no Jay.
And I'm like, I'm looking at time, and I know Cody is about to. I could feel it, like he's wrapping it up, and I kind of went like that, and he's like, okay. So he did like only one, maybe two more jokes, and then he went long. He went like at least 30 to 40 minutes. Still no Jay. So I'm like, oh boy. So he gets off.
Now it's back on you.
Yeah. So I get on there. I do the menu. I mean, not the menu, but the comment cards.
Yeah.
I do that.
Do the pitch.
And then I look in the corner of my eye. I see him. We good? We're good. I hear Jay. We're good. I was like, all right.
And you haven't even met him yet,
no.
right? Because you came in late in the weekend. So you're just like.
Yeah. So, boom, I do the whole intro, and he comes up on stage and I jump in the air, give him a high five, and we act like we know each other. He's, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. I overslept.
Yeah. Well, fair enough.
And he gets on. He goes, that's his opening. Hey, so I overslept. I just woke up. I'm wearing this hat. Looks like a bird's hat on my head. Kind of, he started doing those jokes. And then he did his set. First show, amazing.
Yeah.
So show ends, and we go in the green room, and we're chilling in the green room. I go and, introduce myself, and we're just talking, and we're just kicking the shit. Talking everything but comedy, which is always good.
Right.
And he goes, hey, you know what? I got to show you something. I got a documentary coming out, and I'm in it. Would you mind taking a look at it? I go, yeah, for sure. So he pops his laptop, kind of like how you have. As he pops open the laptop, the volume level on his laptop is already at 100.
Wow.
I can't see what's on. And the reason why I say that, because as soon as he opens it,
porn.
starts playing loud.
Is it sad that we knew right where that was going?
I didn't see it coming, but it was so loud.
Did he turn beet red?
Yeah, because at first I go, did he plan this? And he go, and his face was so embarrassed.
Yeah, that you could tell it wasn't.
But then the server came in, the girl, and she's like, I'm just gonna come back later.
Well, okay.
I was just sitting there like, she's like, man, I forgot to turn that off from last night. Like clearly. So, whatever. We laugh and we banter back and forth. Second show starts up. He goes, hey, I want to get out of here. Everyone's gonna do 10. Got it. 10, 10, 10.
Right.
So,
everybody's gonna do 10.
There's only 3 of us. Well,
yeah, but
there's a guest spot.
Oh, okay. But the feature did his 20 or 30, right?
Feature did like 15.
He gave everybody 10.
Yep. He was like 10, 10, 10. He wants to get out of here. He wants to leave, which we didn't leave. So, show's starting to push almost to midnight, and the crowd's getting a little bit rowdy. And
while he's on stage.
Yeah, they're a little bit chatty, and he's addressing it one too many times. And he brought a Gatorade bottle on stage.
Right.
And for whatever reason, the person literally on the front row goes, Gatorade! And he loses his shit.
Was that a line of his from something?
No, it's just from Waterboy.
That's why I was trying to remember. I'm like, it sounds familiar.
Nothing to do with him. No.
It's not like Rob Schneider's up on stage and someone's like, "Oh, get it done." Yeah,
no,
it's not your
just
tagline.
someone yelled it out.
Gatorade.
So he pauses because he was about to do a Tracy Morgan joke or a story.
Right.
He pauses. He goes, every time you open your fucking face, you make the show worse. Everyone goes crazy.
Was this the first time the guy had said anything?
No, he addressed this guy a couple times.
Oh, okay.
And I guess Craig was nowhere to be found.
Ooh.
And I had to go get Craig. And then finally I told Craig. Craig went over there and Jay's like, no, the show's already over. Let him sit. So he goes and doing this. Some guy in the back goes, we pay good money to watch you. It's like from level 5, he went to like level 20. Fuck you. I've been here for 45 minutes. I gave you a show. You know what? And then the guy in the front says something. He goes, I will headbutt you the fuck out.
Wow.
Fucking place goes nuts laughing. I'm like, holy shit. Like, a part of me goes, should I record this? I'm like, no, I want to keep my job. So whatever, he does his Tracy Morgan joke. He finishes his, puts the mic on, walks, goes in the green room, grabs his stuff, orders an Uber, and leaves.
Was he doing merch? Any other show?
No, he doesn't do merch.
Does he do meet and greets usually?
Nope, we did no meet and greet this whole week. And but he didn't even stay around. Like usually he sticks around. You know, people just stick around. We go in the green room. We talk. Gone.
Nothing.
And I was like, man, I didn't get a photo. That's the only thing that went through my head.
Wow.
Yeah.
So first show was great when he just woke up from the nap.
Yep.
And then second show just went off the rails because of the hecklers and the. Yeah. What was it? Was he just? Why was the audience like running late? Did the first show end late? And that's why the second show got loaded late. Like you said,
because
you said people were like restless and everything else. I'm just wondering if everybody did 10 minutes, how did you end up going so late? And if he was only at 45 when
he was in the zone. He was having a good time.
But I mean, he only did 45 minutes, right?
Well, he said that, but
it was
way more than 45 minutes. He was just saying in general, I did 45 minutes for you, which I'm only allowed, which I'm
contracted
to do, but I gave you guys more time because I like you guys. Yeah. And now you ruined it. It's like, oh no. So, and apparently he did this on Friday too. I guess he went off the handle on somebody. But
really,
that was my first experience.
Sounds like maybe longer naps. I don't know.
Maybe. Still an awesome guy.
Yeah,
I freaking loved him.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's great.
Funny dude and everything else. Yeah, I've never got to see him live. Never got to work with him. He's one of those people I'd love to end up sharing a stage with a little bit.
So I don't know if I don't know. Whatever. I might as well talk about it. It's not like he's gonna hear it, right? So I show him my Photoshops of all my Photoshops I did for the promo for him for improv. Yeah. He's like, oh man, these are really cool.
And you did some funny ones. You did some really funny
I showed
stuff.
him all of them.
Yeah.
And he goes, let me show you something. So he shows me a cover of his next upcoming special coming out. And he asked me, what do I think about the title? and I'm like, and I believe the title was Narcissistic Comedian or something like that. Something like that. Jay Mohr, Narcissistic Comedian. And I'm looking at it and I go, well, what's the meaning? Well, first off, he goes, what do you think about the font? I go, you want me to be honest? And he goes, yeah. I go, I hate it. He goes, all right, you don't have to be a dick. I'm like, no, wait.
You want it honest.
Because it was like the basic, like Times Roman, whatever. It was so basic. It was so basic. And I was just like, ugh, I hate it. And he's like, all right, you don't have to be a dick. I'm like, well, I didn't mean that. He said, what do you think about the title? And I was like, I'm not really feeling it because I don't know what it means for me. And he's like, yeah, I'm not feeling it either. So then he started telling me about like how he feels when he rides in airplanes and how he feels like in this limited space. You know what that means? Like, so in other words, you're here, but you're not doing anything. You're just traveling through the world. And then you get off and you have to get right back onto your world because the time he gets downtime is on an airplane. So he kept saying limited space, limited space, limited space. So I'm like, dude, why don't you just name your next album Limited Space, Jay Mohr's Limited Space? And like a bulb went off in his head. He's like, I'm going to do that. So if he has a special, I want credit for helping him.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
If I can't have Toy Story 2, go fuck yourself.
I want credit.
All right. No.
I want
no.
credit.
Do you know how much shit I've taken from people being like, they've watched your little, by the way, the teaser was awesome because me as Buzz Lightyear was cool. But all I did was state the facts. I put it out there. I'm I maybe inspired the cover of Toy Story 2. And now you're telling me you're responsible for, see, it works both ways.
No,
man.
it doesn't.
It works. It totally
you're
does.
taking credit for bunny ears, which has been around since who knows how long.
Dude, it's all about building a better mousetrap. Every invention was just a rip off of an invention
you didn't
before
talk to Tim Allen about putting bunny ears.
No, even worse, Disney just saw it and took it.
You didn't talk to Tom Hanks.
You know what?
You didn't talk
I'll
to Tim
believe
Allen.
when Jay Mohr says, "Thanks for the on the cover."
Yeah,
like, thanks
he's
for
gonna say that.
He's gonna say that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the help from the Puerto Rican midget at the Orlando Improv. That's gonna be there.
All right, he didn't say midget, but yeah. He said Puerto Rican.
He's gonna give you writing credit on the cover.
Yes, he's gonna give me full writing credit.
Is he really?
And we're gonna be best friends.
Is he really?
Best friends
Really?
forever.
Really?
And I'm gonna
you guys
rub it
are
in
so
your
close
face.
you couldn't even get him for the podcast.
I'm going on
nice
tour.
Nice job.
I'm going on tour with him.
Are you really?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool. Cool. I'll believe it when I see it.
Screw you, man. That's what.
So, congratulations. I hope you're very happy.
I am very happy. Thank you.
But then Sunday, who you work with? Okay.
Bam, we went right back to Orlando Improv, and I got to MC again. I asked for this one, though.
Yeah.
The Saturday was a surprise, but I asked for Saturday. Brandon Schaub. Schaub.
I would hope you got the name right eventually.
Schaub.
You have to say it at least once.
Yeah, Brandon Schaub. He's a UFC fighter. Well, was a UFC fighter. Now he's just he's a podcaster. He's on Fighter and the Kid, Below the Belt.
Right.
Hangs out with Brian Callahan.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, Joe Rogan, that whole clique.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool, man. And
now he didn't do stand up before.
His story. No, well, he's been doing it for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
But he's very story driven.
He's headlining improvs.
Yeah. Hey, here's the thing. And he knows that. And
Most of them do.
And he goes, I have no business being up on this stage. And everything you guys do, I respect you guys.
Good. Can I have your paycheck?
Fast forward to the end of the night.
Yeah.
He tips me and Cody $150 cash.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
I was like, all right, dude, you're my favorite.
Was it a special event? So was it like paid tickets?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did a VIP package too where you get to meet and greet.
Was it packed out?
305 people.
Wow. That's great.
Dude, it was an MMA crew, MMA crowd. Everyone had cauliflower ears.
Right.
These are like people you don't want to meet in a dark alley.
Right.
And I'm talking about the women. Like, I'm not just the guys. They're
yeah. And you fit right in.
No, I did not.
What?
Because I'm not built like a crab. Like these guys are.
But I mean, you come from the fighting background and everything else, and you know and appreciate a lot of these guys, right?
And I didn't do my MMA jokes. I didn't want to step on his toes. I didn't know I never seen his set. And Cody, because Cody has a boxing joke and an MMA joke, and we didn't.
So you didn't do any of your fighting.
No, not at all.
In the perfect crowd to do fighting material, you didn't do fighting material.
And part of me was like, do you want to step on this guy's?
But you could have just asked him before the show.
Nah.
You know, like, hey, I'm also a blah blah blah. Do you think it would be?
I guess I would have thought that, but I didn't think that. I thought the opposite. Either way, it was a great show.
I've only been tipped extra from a headliner once, and that was my first. That was I opened for Angela Johnson. You know Angela Johnson? Yeah. She was on Mad TV. She's best known for, is it Bonquita? She does that Hispanic
Yeah, the
nail
Hispanic
tech.
nail.
Yeah,
jig.
going in.
Yep.
And sweet lady. And her husband at the time, I'm not sure if they're still married, I haven't followed, but is like a Christian rock star.
Okay.
Like, yeah. So like I get booked to host and I get called into the office and it's her tour manager and the GM of the Improv. And they're like, hey, didn't know if anyone told you when we booked you, but this has to be a fully clean weekend. A lot of people come out from her church.
That's
a lot
right.
of people.
She is a clean comic.
And I was like, oh. I'm like, well, I guess I can take the fuck out of the abortion joke. And like the tour manager's face just goes like pale, and the GM of the Improv's like, Mike. And the tour manager goes, yeah, that's not going to work. I'm like, you're right. That joke does not work without the fuck. And I just walked out the door and like left them there. And I got called back in like a minute later. I'm like, no, I can do clean. So then we had good shows. It was a fun weekend, everything. At the end of the weekend, she just comes up and hands me an envelope. She's like, hey, I really appreciate you, keeping it funny and keeping it clean. And, a lot of comics, blah, 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 want to fight over it and blah. I'm like, no, it's your show, whatever. And I'm capable of it, so why not do it? And it was like $200.
Nice.
Like, yeah, about what I got paid.
Surprise.
Yeah, and like never expected. I mean, when I came up and even still coming up, the headliners I was working with as a host feature, if we go on the road, usually they'll buy you a meal or something like that. And that's kind of what I've done with the guys I take on the road. Like I'll pick up, like, hey, I know, let me grab dinner tonight. Or let me grab this, or, I'll take care of the gas. Exactly. It's stupid, but it's like little stuff, So I'd like to think like if you ever get to that point where you're making that kind of money, and to hear this Brandon Schaub guy just doing that, 2 years in, just knowing like.
He's super humble.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's really cool, and he's gonna go far. Unfortunately, as much as you want to hear that. Yeah, 'cause I know you hate to hear. Like,
no, I don't hate to hear that.
I thought you. Well, here's the thing. He's not an Instagram comic.
Right.
That's doing bullshit Instagram videos, and then gets on stage and then just shits.
No, I think we've talked about it before. It's not so much that I hate the people that's working out for. It's just that. You look at it all the time. We've spent at open mics and everything else and doing it like this and doing it like that. And then you see the guys that got how many followers. Like there was a guy at the Improv, a month ago or so.
Man, he sucks.
He's terrible on Instagram, but they give him a headline show. And, the Improv, not just the Improv, comedy clubs in general are about that's why you have psychics and mentalists and everything else. And hypno shows coming in, because at the end of the day, you got to remember these clubs are they're showrooms. They're butts and seats, selling drinks, selling food.
Yeah.
And, as much as we're like, oh, they're not a real comic. Well, you can't say much when you see a girl doing 2 off-night shows on a Wednesday, selling out both at $20 a ticket. And, yeah, the people in there aren't laughing,
Well, that's kind of key at a comedy club.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, does it change anything? And you know what? Maybe her career won't last, or his career won't last, because it will all catch up. But that's not saying the Improv's not going to have, or any other club's not going to have, some other celebrity who's now. I think that's the big irk of it. Like, there's people who have made their fame elsewhere, and when that starts crumbling down, they're like, I'll become a comedian.
Right.
It's like the thing that we love in our profession is the fallback for people. It's not like I go out there and if comedy's not working, I'm like, guess I'll be a doctor now. And just start showing up and doing surgeries, It just, that mindset of, oh, that will be easy for me to do is what upsets me.
That's a lot of people that treat comedy like
I call them freak shows. Like a lot of the guys who... Yeah, a lot of the guys who never did stand-up comedy before, but they got their celebrity fame from television or movies, or, so it's like people will pay to come out and see them at the comedy club. A lot of the wrestlers are doing it nowadays. Even Steve-O wasn't a stand-up comic, but he could get butts and seats because it's basically like a 45-minute meet and greet. Nobody cares about if they're funny. They want to come out to see the guy they saw.
They want to hear
TV
the stories of celebrity encounters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I need to start doing.
Yeah,
I need to start meeting more celebrities.
That's why we gotta get to that. Louis Anderson used to tell me, like, we've sat there having talks about this. He's like, all right, so all you need to do is become Instagram famous, and you're gonna be in the best position because you already have material you can do. Now you just need that fame. I was like, well, I was hoping the material was the thing that would lead me to the fame. He's like, not the way it works anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately.
So, well, that was a good weekend for you, man.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. So
It was damn good.
yeah.
But yeah. What about your weekend? Didn't you go somewhere though?
Man, I had a good Wednesday night last week. I was on Ken Miller's New Faces show. Ken does the New Faces show.
That was the same week. That,
gets a lot of the newer guys out there and everything else. But he always brings in one of us guys. I guess the old faces,
new faces, and old faces
to kind of close out the show when everything's going wrong, and So that was a great night. That was about what, 220, probably 220 that night. And then I went down to Key West. There's Key West Comedy down there, ran by Ann Walters and Joe Matos. And loved that room. It's my third time going through. Went down there 2 years ago as a headliner. Went back last year in June as Screech's, Dustin Diamond's opener. Had a great time. And then went down this time, headlining again. Sold out show Thursday night. Friday night, probably had about 5 or 10 seats open. Awesome shows. What they do down there, they do a little weirder. You don't have a feature. They have like local comics, and they'll put up like 6 or 7 local guys plus a host. But they charge $15 a ticket, and the place will be packed.
Because Key West, what else do you have to do?
Well, that's the thing. It's like in Orlando, comedy's so not saturated, but there's so much other stuff going on. Like even the Improv. I don't care how big the name is. There's always one night that they're giving away a block of free tickets. Yeah. And so to get people weekly to come out and pay $15 to see a bunch of no names, including the headliner. I mean, they've been getting some bigger acts down headlining in Key West, like guys with actual late show credits and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a great time. But I got down there, and the comedy condo down there is a nice little house. And all Key West is only a mile by 4 miles. And as soon as I got out of the car, the guy who was showing me the comedy condo, Joe Matos, was like, oh, watch out for the coconut tree. And I'm like, why? He's like, coconuts kill like 150 people a year. I'm like, what? No, they don't. So like literally there was a coconut tree right over the path to the condo. So the whole time I'm there, I'm just walking in the grass around. And and then one point I was looking up, because even while I was walking downtown, I'm like looking for coconuts. I almost got hit by a fucking scooter. While I was like, I'm like, what's more embarrassing? Get killed by a coconut or killed by a scooter, man? Either way, it's retarded. So then like the whole time I'm down there, I'm just paranoid about coconuts. And it wasn't until I got back home to Orlando that I Googled it. And man, if there's been 150 deaths in the history of the world by coconuts, I'd be surprised. Like it was a myth that started a while ago, and there was some guy who said, oh, you're more likely to get killed by a coconut than killed by a shark. Like it was one of those things where they were trying to point out that shark attacks are pretty rare.
Okay.
So that's how it became this myth. And I think 150 is the total instances throughout history that's documented, compared to 150 people a year killed by coconuts.
Yeah, I gotta say, the dude made it sound like it was like weekly.
Yeah, and like just in Key West. I'm like going, man, why? How come nobody's walking around with hard hats and shit?
That's a weird suicide in Key West.
It is. Or like, I'm surprised there's not like CSI Miami that flowed into Key West, where like they found out that someone murdered someone with a coconut to make it look like, the
coconut death.
Well, do you think it was the coconut? Nah, unless coconuts start carrying guns.
What's more insulting? After the guy died, do you think they used a coconut to make like someone's like Pina Colada on the resort that it died on?
No, because Pina Coladas are made with pineapple.
Isn't it coconut too?
No, coconut. No.
Yeah, coconut.
Pina Colada?
Rum or something. I don't freaking know.
Pina, it's for like pineapple. It's like right there. You think they use coconut rum?
Pina Colada.
If you like Pina Colada.
I thought it had coconut in it.
It probably does.
I don't
You're
freaking
probably
know.
right.
Yeah, because whatever. I ruined that joke. It wasn't that funny anyways.
No. Yeah. Well, we can't end on that.
Can't end on that. Are you actually looking up what's an ingredient of Pina Colada?
Well, when I bartend, number one, I hate making frozen drinks.
So you should know this.
Everything comes with the Oasis machine. So you get like this little carton of mix and you just pour it in. So you really don't have to do anything.
Oh.
But 1.5 cup ice if you're doing it fresh. A 1.5 cup diced pineapple frozen. 2 ounces pineapple juice, 2 ounces Coco Lopez coconut cream.
There you go.
So there you go.
They use the coconut.
1.5 ounces white rum, but I imagine coconut rum would be just as delicious, if you're not more so. 1 ounce dark rum and pineapple slices. So there you go.
All right, well, cool.
So all you kids at home listening,
all you kids,
if mommy and daddy left you home, go check and see what's in the cabinet.
There's Malibu.
But unless you have pineapple slices and umbrellas, don't even start because you're just going to look like a fool.
Really? That's
how are you going to drink a proper pina colada without like a little? They call it a flag.
Flare? Oh,
they call it a flag when you got a pineapple, a cherry, and like a spear through it on the side.
A what?
A pineapple, a cherry, spear through it.
You couldn't do the same sound twice? There you go.
No, I'm sound not. So yeah. Professional. I was just trying to figure out where I want to end this, but yeah. So Key West was awesome, man. Met a lot of cool people. Had a lot of people coming back from shows I've been on, and then Saturday night I was at the Sunrise Theater in Fort Pierce, Florida. Have you done that? The Black Box Theater with
Never
Casey
heard
and Spaz, Casey Peruski. Spaz McGurdy, Casey and Spaz Productions. It's connected to the beautiful Sunrise Theater down in Fort Pierce, Florida, right on the water. And they have a black box that seats about 220, 250, I think. Really nice little room. And the coolest thing about that night is it's right close to my hometown of Port St. Lucie. So, like, my parents made it out. I don't get to see them that often. They came out. My brother came out with his girlfriend and everything. And the show... the guy that was hosting for me is a guy who was one of those older guys on the scene when I started out down there. So he was already featuring at B rooms and stuff. So to get to hang out with him again, and he's like, yeah, it's kind of weird because I remember when you opened for me. I'm like, yeah, those were terrible days, weren't they? But the best thing is this kid came up to me afterwards, and he had, is it called multiple sclerosis?
That's when your back looks like a question mark?
Yeah. So he had like the walker, and he was there with his girlfriend, and he came up to the merch table afterwards, and he was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, I was just Googling comedy on Comedy Central today and watched a bunch of stand-up. And he's like, and then I just decided, I wonder if there's any places to see comedy in Fort Pierce. And he's like, so I Googled comedy Fort Pierce, and I saw they had this show tonight. And he's like, so I checked out a couple of videos on you and decided to come out to the show. So this was my first comedy show ever. And I was like, oh, man, that's awesome. And he's like, I was a little disappointed because you didn't do one of the jokes that really made me piss myself on your clip. And I was like, what joke? And he started talking about a joke. Have you ever had someone come up to you and be like, dude, that one joke you used to do, and they're explaining a joke and you don't even remember it?
No, because I don't have that much time.
Oh, okay. Well, once you have a lot of time. So he started talking to me about this joke I did about Cocoa Beach and old men and metal detectors and everything. I ran this joke while I was staying in Cocoa Beach about watching the old guys get up early and, use the metal detectors and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, I don't even know where you got a recording of that or a video of that, because I think I've only done that joke on stage like twice, maybe 3 times. Yeah. And then I totally forgot about it. And I'm like, I don't even do it anymore because I'm like, it didn't work. He's like, it's the whole reason I came out tonight to hear that joke. I'm like, well, I guess it's back in the set then,
Really?
So yeah.
For a minute there, I thought he was going to like curse you out because you had a spinal bifida joke or something.
No. He turned out to be a really, really cool dude. We exchange information. I'm not sure if he's thinking about getting into comedy, but I know he actually DJs.
I'm sorry.
Nope. I figured I'd throw it up to you and see what you came down with, and this is it. Just to show you, it wouldn't be hard to replace you, Kermit.
No, it's not that. Anyone can do it.
You're thinking of DJ names, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm trying to think of one that's not so obvious.
I tried. It doesn't exist.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it alone.
But really cool dude. And then when I was walking out to my car, he was out there with his girlfriend. He's like, hey, you want
a girlfriend too?
Oh, yeah. I started out with that. He had a girlfriend, and he still has a girlfriend, and they were a very sweet, nice couple. And then they actually were parked by me, so I was leaving the theater. They were out there, and they're like, "Yeah, you want to come get high?" I was like, which is always a sign of a good show, But even though I talk about having been high on stage, I really don't. Plus, I was driving straight back to Orlando that night, so yeah. So it was like Key West. Fort Pierce, and I picked it up because it was on the way back.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a good weekend for me, man. Good merch, good shows, good times. And tomorrow night, I'm actually covering Carmen Villone's on the road, so I'm hosting the open mic at the Orlando Improv.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't get the big gigs like you, but I'll get these open mic gigs. And then I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do for the weekend because I'm off. It's Easter. I'm off, so my dad just had surgery. I want to take the boys down. They didn't get to go see him during spring break, so I want to take the boys down with me. But then also, Chris Rodriguez, Marcus Crespo, James John, Ken Miller are going to be out in Okeechobee. They do once a year. They do this big comedy show out there, and I headlined it last year. And it's basically a barn out in Okeechobee, like a bar barn, but they pack it out. And
really?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll go out there Friday and do a guest spot and just move some merch. But
Interesting.
yeah, what about you? What you got going on this weekend?
Nothing.
Until Krista calls you and just gives you the whole weekend.
Yeah, until someone gives me the whole weekend. No, I don't have anything this weekend, which is nice.
Nothing this weekend, but you make it out, do some open mics, do some time, work on some stuff.
Yeah, I want to do new stuff. I'm tired of my old stuff.
Cool. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode.
Yeah.
If you want, you can check us out. Like I said, we are on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean. But if you're listening to us right now, you probably figured that out already. Release every Thursday, 11 o'clock-ish, and then on YouTube. Also, this is new this week. We have an email.
We do.
All right. We have an email. It took us this long to have it, but I think we probably had this since day one and just keep forgetting to do it.
We forgot about it.
Yeah. So it's really complicated. It's theobligatorypodcast@gmail.com. theobligatorypodcast@gmail.com. So if you feel like it, write us your thoughts on the show, what you'd like to hear us talk about, your criticisms, your insults, which one of us sounds better looking, whatever you want to do. And that's about it. Take a look at my schedule, MykeHurley.com. I'm learning how to use Instagram, so bear with me. And Kerm, how about you?
There's nothing to look at my schedule. I'm great at Instagram though, so you can follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, he gives good Instagram.
Yeah, I give good Instagram.
All right, We'll talk to you next time. Take
Later.
care.